Dangerous temperatures and heat factors are hitting the bee yard. You need to know how to take care of your bees. This could be deadly to your bees. Look at this. Hey, my friends, David Burns going to be with you today. It's 105 degrees heat index Fahrenheit out here in the bee yard today. Way too hot to work bees, but I wanted to jump in here and make a video because most of the U.S., well, a big part of the world is being affected by this heat wave. And here in the U.S., much of the U.S. is in a heat dome. We are trapped for the next few days, and temperatures are well above 100 degrees heat index, up to 110. In fact, in the bee yard yesterday, if you can see this image, it was 111 degrees Fahrenheit with humidity of 80%. That was more heat and more humidity than was in the Amazon jungle at the same time. Wicked out here. It is bad. Now, I want to give you 4 tips today that's going to help save your bees, okay? Now, many of you might say, well, David, I heard that the bees are really good at regulating the temperature, keeping everything under control. They will give their level best at trying it, but here's the deal. It's not easy for them when it gets this hot. When bees like this are right out there in the sun and it's hitting them and baking them like that, sometimes it's just more than they can do. And what can happen is the brood can overheat. They try really hard to stop all foraging for nectar, and they start just foraging for water. Bees should really be foraging today, and look at that, not much foraging activity because bees are having to spend time trying to cool their hive. Look at that. Look how the bees are all lined up, pushing and pulling air to cool off the hive with their little wings moving. Wow. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But right now, these bees that you see, they're not going after nectar or pollen. They're on water detail. And so that cuts down on your honey production. It cuts down on, frames getting pulled out, getting filled with nectar when you hit these kind of heat spells like this. So right now, my bees are going after water. I've made a lot of videos on tracing, marking bees in the water, on water feeders and watching them come back, see what they do with their water when they come back. I made those videos last year. But one of the things I've noticed is that they bring water into the hive and then they leave droplets of water on the brood, developing pupae. And that keeps, then they fan their wings, and that's evaporative cooling. That's the only way that they can keep the brood nest from baking. And even then, sometimes they can't do it. So if you do see some dying brood, brood that looks bad, it very well may be that it's simply overheated in this heat dome. We don't want that to happen. I'm going to show you some ways to prevent it, okay? Now, the first and most important thing is you. I had a good friend a couple of years ago that was working the bee yard on a day like today, outrageously hot and humid, and they became I don't think they had a heat stroke, but they had to go to the hospital because they had heat exhaustion. And so it wasn't that they weren't drinking enough water, but they lost potassium and important things by just sweating it out. Now, I'm an avid cyclist, and I have been since I was in my early 20s. And so I know the importance of replacing all your minerals and everything when you're out there on a bicycle racing. You're not going to have any energy if you don't stay powered up. So all of you that are out there working your bees because you have to, I want you to make sure that more than water, you got to have something like Gatorade. What I like to use is Body Armor. This is not a paid promotion, but this has significant amount of things that you need, like minerals and potassium, stuff like that. And so a tip that I like to show you, I know some of you are watching for the first time. Thank you. You've probably not seen me demonstrate this. There's no need when you're in the bee yard to take your hat and veil off. Simply drink through your veil like this. Ready? You just take it, press it up to your lips like this. And you can stay hydrated. I think some people don't drink enough water or Body Armor, Gatorade. I don't think they drink enough in the field because they don't want to take the time to either take their suit off, their jacket off, and go somewhere and get a drink. And that's why I like to show you how to just drink right through your head and veil. I learned this trick in the commercial bee yards when I saw people working bees and smoking cigarettes through the veil. You know, I was like, hey, I could probably drink through the veil. And it was like, okay, that worked out pretty good. So take care of yourself. You can get dehydrated, you start to get dizzy, you start to feel nauseated, you start just to lose your ability to function, and it can be very dangerous. So please take care of yourself. Now let's move on to take care of our bees, okay? What are you going to do to keep your bees from overheating this time of the year? This is a little more difficult for me to do with as many hives as I have, but you need to provide shade. Number one way to cool your bees is to provide some shade. Now the simplest way to provide shade is make your own shade, because we don't like to put our bees in shade because we like to keep them in usually full sun to help reduce small hive beetle. And but look at this. If you put something like this, you can adjust it as the sun changes, you know, position. I know it's the earth moving, not the sun, but you know what I mean? So as the sun kind of changes, we can move this. You keep a brick on top, and that way you can kind of follow the sun. But you won't believe how much cooler something as simple as this will keep your hive during the heat of the day. Now, some of you have less than 5 hives, maybe less, maybe 10 or less. You can take pieces of really thin OSB, even cardboard, and make a 4x4 piece of plywood or cardboard and set it on there. Now, cardboard won't last long in the rain. It gets droopy, so a board like this might be better. I've even got some foam board, you know, an inch thick foam board you can put on there, something like that. Just find a way to get some shade on your bees. It will reduce the amount of energy. You know, so many people are always talking about how important it is that our bees don't use too much energy. You know, we're always talking about, oh, we want more propolis in there because that way they don't use as much energy fighting pathogens. Or, you know, we talk about different things we can do to cut down on the energy bees use. It takes a lot of energy, believe me, to cool down and keep cool a hive on the inside. It's hot in there. They're producing heat. Their box is got a lot of heat. I often wonder if insulating them right now wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's going to take me too long to do that. There's too many hives out here. But I really think, and I've heard before, that insulating can really help. Another thing that I've found too, I don't know if you can see, there's one angry bee. I think they may have left, but their bees are much more defensive when it's hot like this. Take it from me. I've already been stung 3 times just trying to make this video. I haven't even opened a hive up. They're just not doing what they normally do, and it's hurting. I got stung once in the hand, twice in the arms, and there's still a few after me right now. But they're just more defensive when they're not able to do their regular work because of the heat. You know, I don't have any science to back me up, but I have a lot of welts on my arm to back me up, and that should be enough. I don't usually get stung this much standing in front of a camera just trying to make a video. So be careful if you do have to work bees. Just expect them to be a little more cantankerous on this time of the year when it's just boiling hot outside. But that's a good example here of providing some shade, and you are going to have to put a concrete block or something heavy on there. Now, another way, let me give you another tip on how you can help the bees stay cooler. Okay, tip number 3 has to do with this. Find a nice little stick like this, maybe 1/4 of an inch, and all you have to do is raise the back of the top cover up a little bit and just set this between the top cover and the box itself right here. And what you're going to get is you're going to provide a little bit more way for the bees to circulate some ventilation through their hive. It can be a coin. I've made videos about putting a 1/4 underneath there, but between, and if you have like an inner cover, you're going to have to lift that up. You want it to be on top of your top box, a little stick or something. That way you allow a little more ventilation for them to push and pull. That kind of air, hot air, can get pulled out of this hive. Tip number 4 is a fun one. Follow me. 4th tip I want to show you is probably the most important one. and that is providing water for your bees. What I like to do is I'll use either a bird bath, a cheap plastic bird bath. I had some set up here, but the recent storms that we've had that ripped through Illinois, it swept away my bird baths that I was using to water my bees, and they're nowhere to be found. They're probably somewhere in Indiana or Ohio. So anyway, I've got some more ordered, but in the meantime, this is what I like to do. Provide water for your bees. Even if you feel like you live real close to a pond or a creek or something, do not take that for granted. I want you to go ahead and put as many water stations that you can around your property. Find some plastic containers like this. I don't care what you use, just find a way to actually get a lot of different water stations. And you'll find that the bees will like some of the water stations and they won't even find or like the other ones, okay? And so just put a bunch of these around. Now I'm putting sticks in here because bees don't make good swimmers at all. And that way if one falls in the water, then they can do the backstroke and get on a log and stay out of the water from drowning. But again, go crazy with water stations. Set these up everywhere. I just bought some off of Lowe's, I think, for $30, plastic bird baths, and I can secure them into the ground, and then I'll set these up. But in the meantime, I'm setting up a lot of these types of water stations all around the property. The bonus tip that I wanted to share with you is this right here. Look at that. That is an ambient weather station that I've had in the bee yard for many years, at least probably 5 or 6 years now. It monitors my humidity, my winds, the rainfall, everything you can possibly think of. And I have a lightning detector right here. And so it picks up lightning up to 15 miles away, lets me know. It sends, I've done some coding on my own, but it will send a text to my phone that will tell me there's lightning approaching. That's a cool thing. And because recently we've had the Sahara desert dust coming in, and I've got one of these sensors here that measures the particles in the air. And so that's a good thing to tell me the quality of air that we have today. And a few days ago, it was not very good quality because all the dust that was in the air. Weather station works so good just to keep track of the heat, what my bees are enduring. And I've also made some configuration where all the data that I collect off my weather station actually comes back into some computer programs that I've got running that evaluates foraging. It takes all the data and it will tell you, what kind of foraging the bees are doing. It's kind of neat. Not only is all the information sent back to your phone on a phone app, but look at this. It's also sent indoors, wherever you want to put your display, and it will show you all the information here. 91 degrees outdoors in the bee yard. Feels like 105.3. Winds are from the south at 13.6. You see that? Sunrise, sunset, barometric pressure, lightning detection here. 6 days ago, there was a lightning strike within 9 miles of us. We call them, when we say our bees are defensive, we say those are hot bees. I've literally got one bee that I made mad in the bee yard, and she followed me all the way up here, and she is still mad at me. So I can't make this scene without putting my hat and veil on. So I think one of the things that beekeepers need to be aware of is if this was just going to be a hot day for 1 or 2 days, the bees probably would make it through that okay and would be unaffected. But now we're talking about many, many days. And I'm filming this on Wednesday, and all the way through the weekend, we have unrelenting heat indexes into the hundreds. And so the bees are getting slammed. And that's why I wanted to make this video to give you good advice on how you can help your bees kind of maintain some existence in this extreme heat. They may not be used to it, and because they're just big in numbers right now, they've been foraging, they're in the middle of raising brood, lots of brood to take care of. Now they can't go foraging. It's just going to set them back tremendously. And even at night, it doesn't even cool off here in Illinois. Illinois can be a really hot and humid place, believe it or not. I grew up in Tennessee, and I'm used to hot days and hot humidity, but I'll tell you what, Illinois, no match for Tennessee, although Tennessee is getting hit hard too. Everybody's getting hit hard, okay? And it's so tempting, it's so hard to even do things outdoors. I'm working on a few projects. Believe it or not, I'm having to dig trenches to bury some PoE Ethernet, but I've got a trencher, and I've been having to work after sundown. It's just unbearable to be out there in the daytime. It's so bad. And I think just use good wisdom. Don't go crazy trying to keep your bees cold. I mean, I wouldn't put fans on them. I wouldn't put ice on them. I wouldn't bother to spray them down with water. I wouldn't try to do all of that, those kind of things. I think I would just take some very common sense things like shade, and maybe help them have a little more ventilation by raising up the top cover a little bit if you can. Let them get some air to be pulled through there. And of course, providing water. I can't stress that enough. Again, I want to say this. I don't care if you've got a big pond. I don't care if you've got, you know, creeks near you. I don't care what's going on. Don't trust them. And don't make your bees fly, you know, a long way to get that water. Let's get some water up around your beehives, around your property, and see if your bees can't find a closer route to get that water, because they got to get the water just like they collect nectar. They're going to collect it, put it in their honey crop. They're going to carry it back. They're going to expel it into the hive on to the brood. Now, bees aren't starving for water like we do as humans. They're going to take that water and they're going to put it on the brood, top of the brood caps, and they're going to try to cool that brood down with evaporative cooling. And that's how they're going to keep their bees in the future living, so they don't die as pupae. So you need to help them with that. Provide water, provide shade, provide ventilation. Let's get to it, chop chop. But again, I want you to take care of yourself. I've seen too many people getting dangerously too hot in the bee yard because you're out there in the bright sun. You think it's going to be in there in just a minute. You're in a heavy, you know, canvas bee suit usually, and you got a hat on, and you probably didn't drink enough water. You're probably not drinking enough water. Come on, let's be wise. Let's do the right thing. Let's take care of ourselves. Your bees aren't going to be, your bees going to be really bad off if you're no longer around to take care of them, okay? You take care of yourself and take care of your bees as well. I'm going to leave a link in the description for my weather station. You know, it's not cheap. It's not terribly expensive. It can be a write-off, a tax exemption for your bee operation. You know, you don't want to be struck by lightning. You got to know what the weather's doing. You're a farmer. You got to have a weather station, so you can deduct it from your great honey cells that you're having. But we need to be aware of the conditions that our bees are under. So look at the description of this video for the weather station link, and I think you'll really like it. You might choose different models, but that was the least expensive one I got. Like I said, I've had it for years. It's good operation. Haven't had any issues with it. So I really like it. Many of you are still trying to get comb drawn out. I get it. I know. It's okay. It just takes a while, and some of you are just kind of behind the 8 ball, or you're just starting it all, and you need to get the comb drawn out on those frames. I just made a video giving you some tips on how you can do it. Now that it's July, look over here. I'll meet you guys over there.